With a Crip gang member from South Central. Knight claims he only tried to break it up.
You will not comply. You will not testify. Do I have that right?
1,000%. I wouldn't go. I wouldn't testify. None of that.
New information has emerged implicating Suge Knight, the former CEO of Death Row Records, in the assassination of the iconic rapper Tupac Shakur. This explosive revelation reopens the long-standing mysteries surrounding Shakur's demise, which has been shrouded in conspiracy theories and unanswered questions for over 2 decades.
You know, and they're more important to the police on the streets than in here, because they let them know what's going on.
For years, the narrative of Shakur's assassination revolved around 2 predominant theories, one implicating East Coast rivals in the midst of the East-West hip-hop feud, and another suggesting gang-related motives.
People were starting to say it's an East Coast, West Coast rivalry because it was people that's trying to make money. It was true people trying to make careers, it was people trying to get famous.
However, this third theory takes an unexpected turn, pointing the finger at Suge Knight, once considered Shakur's close ally and business partner. Rumors of a strained relationship between Knight and Shakur had surfaced in the past, but this new development brings those whispers into a startling focus.
You know, I'm so damn sick of getting 100,000 calls about this. No way in hell I would have murdered Tupac. For what reason?
Knight's former wife, Sharitha Golden, has vehemently denied any involvement in the assassination. In a video posted via TMZ, she expressed her frustration, saying, Golden highlighted the absurdity of the claim, stating, "This ridiculous theory that I had to get half of Death Row. I already had half of Death Row, America. When Tupac passed away, what did Death Row become after that? 0. Nothing. A downfall." Golden's words underline the turmoil and emotional burden she and her family have endured for years due to these accusations. In a surprising twist, Knight himself had previously claimed that Golden and former Death Row chief Reggie Wright Jr. were responsible for planning the shootout, intending to assassinate both him and Shakur. His attorney, Thaddeus Culpepper, even wrote in a signed affidavit, Knight has known for many years that Reggie Wright Jr. and his ex-wife, Sharitha, were behind the assassination of Tupac and attempted assassination of Knight. Furthermore, the attorney mentioned that Knight possesses details concerning Wright's alleged involvement in the assassination of another legendary rapper, Biggie Smalls. The drama doesn't end there. Adding another layer of complexity to the story, Suge Knight has recently been in the spotlight after the arrest of Keffe D for his involvement in Shakur's assassination. Lead detective Greg Kading, known for his work on the case of the notorious B.I.G., commented, "If there's anybody in the world to blame for this taking 27 years to solve, it's Suge Knight." Kading expressed that Knight was well aware of the culprits behind the assassination from the onset. In his words, he knew the moment it happened who did it. Despite the mounting allegations, Knight remains steadfast in his refusal to testify against Keffe D, despite being an eyewitness to the 1996 shooting.
There was only 2 people in the car. And Pac not finna tell the story. I ain't finna tell the story, but I tell you this. And I never had nothing bad to say about Orlando because, number 1, he wasn't the shooter. Number 2, he came to my hearing and told to let me go and tell the truth.
He even went so far as to challenge the widely accepted belief that Orlando Anderson, Keffe D's nephew, was the shooter. There were only 2 people in the car. Tupac's not going to tell the story. I ain't going to tell the story, Knight remarked cryptically. As new evidence emerges implicating Suge Knight in the assassination of Tupac Shakur, the intricate tapestry of motives, relationships, and counterclaims surrounding the rapper's demise grows increasingly tangled.
And Tupac's a legend. Like I said, Tupac wasn't born, he was sent to us.
A critical point of contention has been Shakur's intention to depart from Death Row Records to establish his own label. Tupac's feelings of being exploited and misunderstood were evident during an interview with Entertainment Weekly. He lamented, "They believe in the Sheen, not Tupac no more," and remarked on the pervasive use and exploitation he felt, saying, "Everybody wants to use me. Everybody wants to use me. Everybody." Meanwhile, in a documentary that charts the highs and lows of Suge Knight's life, the former Death Row Records CEO recounts the fateful night in September 1996, attempting to debunk long-standing rumors that he orchestrated Shakur's assassination due to the rapper's plans to leave the label. Knight dismisses the claim as mere outsider's opinion, emphasizing the logical inconsistency in orchestrating a hit that would also place him directly in the line of fire. But the dynamics between Shakur and Knight had reportedly grown strained, as reflected in various incidents and statements from those close to the rapper. Leila Steinberg, Shakur's original manager, recalled the financial exploitation of Shakur by Death Row Records, directly pointing fingers at Knight for keeping a tight grip on Shakur's earnings. She starkly declared that the decision to join Death Row was one that Shakur couldn't recover from, implying the grave consequences of affiliating with the label. Another intriguing dimension is the role of Sharitha Golden and Reggie Willis Jr., as portrayed in the documentary. They have been intertwined in the unfolding narrative, although public denials from both Golden and Knight challenge the claims of their alleged involvement in Shakur's assassination. It's imperative to understand the historical context and operations of Death Row Records during Shakur's tenure. Tupac Shakur, despite selling records worth over $60 million post his release from prison, was, according to Vanity Fair, indebted to Death Row for $4.09 million. This financial quagmire begs the question, where did all the money go? The financial downfall of the once mighty Death Row empire, leading to its acquisition by a Canadian soccer mom in 2009, speaks volumes about its internal chaos and mismanagement. However, the public remains divided on the credibility of the documentary featuring Knight. While some perceive it as a genuine recounting of the mogul's perspective, others dismiss it as a smokescreen to divert attention from Knight's possible complicity. As the labyrinthine saga surrounding Tupac Shakur's tragic demise continues to unfold, we're confronted with yet another layer of complexity. Amidst the clamor of accusations and theories, the voice of Corrupt, a legendary West Coast artist and former Death Row Records signee, resonates with a unique perspective. His recent comments have shed new light on the atmosphere within the label, particularly in the wake of Shakur's assassination. Corrupt, during an interview with the Art of Dialogue podcast, reflected on the sense of insecurity that plagued him during his time at Death Row Records. His words paint a vivid picture of the paranoia and danger that permeated the label.
You know what I'm saying? Everywhere we was going, we had to, keep our eyes open, 10 toes on the ground.
The situation escalated to a point where, as Corrupt put it,
we had to stay heated and make sure that we protected ourselves, you know what I'm saying?
The assassination of Tupac Shakur, a defining moment in hip-hop history, seems to have been a turning point for Corrupt. It was an event that blurred the lines between the perilous streets and what was supposed to be a sanctuary for artists. And then to go to Death Row and feel the same way as when we in the streets, we all kind of got burnt on that, he lamented. Corrupt's decision to leave Death Row Records was heavily influenced by Dr. Dre's earlier departure. He shared how Dre's move served as a blueprint, a glimmer of hope that it was possible to break free from the label's grasp. Dr. Dre set up the woo-wop, like, it can be done, you can leave, Corrupt recalled. The final straw, however, was the assassination of Tupac Shakur. When I saw Dr. Dre do that, then Tupac pass away. That was the final straw for me. People are getting shot, even with Suge. Now, that is it, Corrupt declared with finality. This sentiment not only underscores the perceived danger within Death Row, but also subtly aligns with the emerging narrative that Suge Knight's leadership and the environment he fostered may have played a role in Shakur's untimely demise. In a separate segment of the interview, Corrupt delved into the dichotomy of Tupac Shakur's persona, emphasizing his non-affiliation with gang culture. He shed light on Shakur's background, contrasting his militant and revolutionary roots with the gang-infested environment of Death Row. Cripping and blooding is real. This isn't a joke. This mess isn't to play with. This isn't something you just kick around. Once you're in for life. You've got to ride it out, homie. And Tupac is militant. He's not a gang member, Corrupt stated, delineating the incongruity of Shakur's presence in such an environment. Corrupt's revelations add a critical dimension to the ongoing discourse surrounding Shakur's demise. They highlight the internal strife and fear that permeated Death Row Records, suggesting that Shakur's assassination, rather than being an isolated incident, might have been a culmination of the label's tumultuous and perilous atmosphere. The emerging narrative suggests a convoluted web of motives, relationships, and power struggles, with Shakur seemingly caught in the middle of it all. The interplay of financial woes, artistic frustrations, and personal safety concerns paints a picture of an artist striving for autonomy and integrity in an environment that was perhaps fundamentally opposed to such ideals. As we continue to unravel the layers of this story, it becomes increasingly evident that Shakur's demise was not just the loss of a prolific artist, but a tragic byproduct of a larger, more complex narrative that continues to captivate and confound the public to this day.
For 27 years, the family of Tupac Shakur has been waiting for justice.
As the revelations cascade through the media, public opinion is shaping its own narrative. Many fans who have been with Shakur through his rise and tragic fall weigh in with insights that both support and challenge the theories now dominating headlines. One vocal member of the hip-hop community commented, "Suge won't talk, and Puffy won't talk. They both have a silent agreement because each demise leads back to them." Another fan reflected on Tupac Shakur's transformation during his tenure with Death Row. "I know for a fact that Pac hated Death Row and didn't want to be there, but felt like he had to in order to protect his image as a thug." This fan went on to add, "He just seemed more serious and darker in his songs, whereas before, around 92 or 93, he was happier and more free-spirited." This observation underscores the palpable shift in Shakur's demeanor and artistic output, suggesting an internal conflict and perhaps a sense of entrapment within the Death Row system. Yet another passionate comment pointed out the complications of Tupac Shakur's association with death row. I know Tupac didn't want to be in jail for the time that he was, but signing with death row was a big mistake, the fan added, challenging the widely accepted narrative. And are you saying no other record label could have gotten him out of jail? Why did it have to be death row? Yet, in examining each opinion, we glimpse the profound impact Shakir had on his fans and the void his demise has left in the world of hip-hop. Each theory, each reflection underscores the quest for truth and justice for an icon whose influence endures beyond the grave. As the investigations and debates continue, one thing remains clear. Shakur's legacy, both as an artist and a symbol, will forever be intertwined with the mysteries that surrounded his untimely demise. What's your take, viewers? Was Shakur's association with death row the catalyst for his tragic demise, or are there hidden layers we've yet to uncover? Drop your insights below. Are we any closer to the truth? Stay tuned, and until next time, keep the conversation going.